Hey, what's up guys? It's Flex and welcome back. So in today's video, I'm going to be installing a color changing ambient light trim that goes on the dash of this 2016 Mercedes-Benz C300. And I want to thank DMP Car Design for sponsoring this video and providing me with the product. And if you want more information on the product in this video, use a link in the description below. Now let me show you the product and then we'll get to the install. Here is the new ambient trim piece. There's actually two versions of it. This one here has a light strip on the bottom and a glowing AMG logo. The other version actually has the Mercedes-Benz logo lit up and a light strip on the bottom. I got the AMG one just so I can show you what it looks like. But ultimately, I'm going to cover it up with a carbon fiber cover because that's what I have on my stock trim. I really just want the light strip on the bottom. So for the install, it should be pretty easy because in episode 1, I installed the main ambient light kit, which lights up the door trims, the center console, and the front footwell lights. That already has a connector for this, so I only need to plug in one connector here, and that should do it. And for the rest of the connectors, I don't need to use at all. So the install should be pretty straightforward. Let's get to it. Because I'm going to be working with electrical components, I'm going to first start by disconnecting the battery. To remove the stock trim piece, I'm going to first start by removing the center console. To remove the center console, the first step is to actually remove this trim piece. I'm going to use a pry tool and pry up on the sides of this trim piece. Now to completely remove it, I'm going to have to also pry up on this piece while pushing on the button and pulling it up. Now I'm going to use a Torx screwdriver and I'm going to remove these two screws. Now once the screws are removed, I can lift up the center console and set it off to the side. Now I'm going to use a trim removal tool to pry up on the speaker cover right behind the center screen. Next, I'm going to use a Torx screwdriver to loosen the two Torx screws holding the bracket of the screen in place. And once those two screws are loosened, I can go ahead and slide the screen right off the dashboard. So this is optional, but I disconnected the screen. This way I have more room to work with. Now I can grab a trim tool and I can pry up on the old trim to pop it off. Or I can just go ahead and just pull it off of my hand. So here's the brand new AMG trim piece that's going to be installed there. I always like to make sure that it doesn't rattle, so what I do is I actually install some double-sided tape on the back just to make sure that it's fully secured to wherever I install it. But it should slide right into place. And one thing to note is to make sure the wiring is on the inside and it's not in the way so the trim can clip right into place. For the wiring, I routed it along the sides right here so it ends up in the center, as you can see. And then I'm going to sneak it here and have it come out of the footwell area right there. Now I'm going to use the Torx screwdriver to remove 2 screws holding this cover in place, which gives me access to the main ambient harness. Now I can take the connector from the ambient trim and plug it into one of the available connectors coming out of the ambient light main harness. So that's it for the wiring. Everything's fully connected. Everything should be good to go. Now I can reinstall everything, reinstall the battery, and test out the ambient light. So now I'm going to power it up to show you guys what it looks like. And there you have it. I have ambient light on the door, on the center console, in the footwell, and now I have it up here as well, lighting up on the bottom and the logo. It actually looks pretty cool, but however, I'm not going to keep it that way. My car is not an AMG, so I'm going to use a carbon fiber cover to cover it up, just so I can only have the light strip on the bottom. But overall, I think it looks pretty good. Wow, I really like the way the trim looks. To be honest, I think this should have came with the main ambient light kit. Well, there you have it. If you liked the video, please hit like below. And if you haven't done it already, make sure you subscribe because you don't want to miss any upcoming videos. I'll see you next time.